to his undoing. By seizing the puppet himself, Yagami seeks to pull down the puppet master holding the strings. To do so, he forms a temporary alliance with the fugitive Koana. But Soma arrives to carve a bloody path into a hideaway no one should know about. Reiko Kusamoto's betrayal has proven more volatile than anyone could have guessed.
Genda-sensei, they're calling last night's bombing a terrorist attack.
That was a Kaike-kun, right?
Yes, I believe so. Nothing about Soma or RK in the article either.
I wouldn't give public security that much. Besides, if a bomb goes off in a deserted public place...
Right,
Unfortunately, even if they do identify the ones responsible are Koana and Soma, any investigation would grind to a halt. Probably end up...
The public learned the bombing was tied to Ihara's battery.
Yeah. Anyway, where's Yagi?
No, we've been in touch via email, though.
Great. What'd he get himself into?
He's actually going to the hospital.
Don't worry, he's fine. He's just going to meet with someone about the
Who'd
case.
want to meet up at a hospital?
Reiko Kusamoto.
Years. I still can't believe it. Waking up and finding out you're suddenly 30.
Take your time. You'll adjust eventually.
Work again?
I won't be long. I just need to take a quick meeting. Now put down that mirror already.
Oh.
So, you sold Koana out to public security because Mitsuru-kun woke up. Does that about sum it up? You waited 13 years for Mitsuru-kun to wake up. If you turn yourself in now, you'd lose him all over again.
There's that. Yes. Going forward, he needs to stand on his own 2 feet and rebuild his life. It'll take time. And lots of it. There's no real end in sight. He's at a disadvantage as it and to brand him the child of a murderer on top of that. I could.
Hey, Mom.
Mitsuru! Mitsuru!
It's incredible. Finally, he's woken up. Doesn't this change everything? I think you may want to reconsider what you told me, Kusamoto-san. Alone, I'm sure you could have lived with the weight of your choice. But... now you have something you'd sacrifice everything to protect. He's so precious. But he's also so fragile he can come crashing down without even a warning. You're going to have to be his shield, Kusumoto-san. We'll do it together. With your cooperation.
I have to do what I can to protect him.
I suppose so, but... You covered up your crimes and it was Sawa-sensei who got caught in the crossfire. On top of that, Akaike-kun's throat was slit last night. Kawano will be another body for the pile soon. Hell, maybe I'm in trouble myself.
How was he yesterday?
Well, as soon as RK showed up for him, he knew you'd stabbed him in the back. I can't really say how that made him feel. Until now, he'd been adamant about ensuring you stayed out of this. He said no one could blame you for what you did to Shinya Kawai. Kawano put his life on the line for you. You failed to silence him, and you let him get away. That means whatever happens next, it's his move. And whatever he does to you, none of my business. As for me, I have no evidence on Kawai's murder, so I only came here today because I wanted to know, that's all. I hope Mitsuru-kun has a speedy recovery.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。
Back already, Yagamishi. how are you feeling?
Oh, yeah. That was some...
I bet, tough guy. Camarocho's fine.
Doc, you made it. We've been asking around if anyone's seen Kuwana.
You don't want to know how that went.
No leads, huh?
Pretty much. As soon as they spot Kuwana.
Kuwana gave this to me yesterday.
Isn't that Toshiro Ehara? Kuwana-san called you out?
Yep. He told me to give it to Ehara.
What the? Oh, man.
Can you take a look at it, Tsukumo? I get the feeling it's no ordinary pendant.
Certainly.
Not handing it over to Ehara till you know what the deal...
He won't mind, will he? Besides, I damn near got blown up over that.
Speaking of, Yagami-shi, what...
Saori-san's preparing for the appeal. Still no date, but if they accept the case and it goes to trial, they'll find out about Kuwana.
And that'd put Reiko Kusumoto in public security.
Right. If Kuwana and his murders come to light, anyone connected to... And if that happens, she'd lose any control.
Interesting.
Everyone wants their own brand of justice to come out on top. But enough isn't. If we don't handle this, public security will take out Kuwana.
Then, what's your next...
Gonna head to Ahara's trial and back up Saori-san.
I'd argue the circumstances surrounding the trial are completely different. I can't help but consider how grand it...
Seriously. But exposing the truth is the only... Can't just stay quiet.
Sounds like you're seeing the light.
Ahara's case with Saori-san.
10-4.
We're going too, Sukiura.
What a waste. Let's go! Wow, looks like we've got a full...
Shirosaki-sensei, she said they needed some business handled while you were out of town.
I find it hard to believe she...
Maybe not.
Yagami-san, you're just in time. I think we should conduct another interview with Ihara.
Okay, but...
If we want to claim he's innocent of battery, then we need to prove he's the one who murdered Mikoshiba, but since the murder footage isn't admissible in court...
Basically, we need new evidence.
So your plan is to meet with Ihara and...
I know it's a long shot, but yes.
I'd like to come help, but someone has to check.
Excuse me? If I have to be Hoshino-kun's lackey, I'm fucking out.
I'd prefer if you address me as Hoshino-sensei.
Mouth on this kid.
Ihara only seems to open up to you, Yagami-kun. So, if you talk to him again...
I'll see what I can get out of him.
Sounds good. Oh, and look after Saori for me, would you?
Sure, but Mafuyu, should you even be here? Won't the prosecution think you're double-crossing them?
What do you mean? I am just here to get dirt on the defense. Expect Prosecutor Takano to hear all about it.
Guess we better watch ourselves.
I still have some preparations to make. Yagami-san, why don't you go kill some time? I'll call you as soon as I'm ready.
Sure thing.
I'm going to try and get in touch with Ihara's wife. Even though they're separated, Ihara... Oh, and he got...
RK's still raising hell around the city. Just watch your back out there.
And stay down.
Here we go. All right. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Here we go. All right. Nice. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Nice. Yep. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Sorry for keeping you, Yagami-san.
And comradeship.
Isn't that just the worst? So the murder footage. I was hoping it'd be played in court for all to see.
Yeah, and if it was, it would prove your innocence. But the prosecution flat out refuses to accept you murdered Mikoshi. There's no room for error. You could flat out confess and they would...
Excellent. In the end, They'll lock me up for battery.
Yeah. We know all about what you and Kawana planned. We just don't...
My condolences.
Which reminds me, you said you'd confess to killing Mikoshiba after you got out of prison. Then, as icing on the cake, you'd admit the battery charge was false and humiliate the law.
Exactly. The public must know that the law can't be... Personally, I hope the media hops all over it.
I bet you do. So when that time comes, you'll need some decisive evidence of the murder, so maybe you've got something like that in your back pocket already? Because we'd sure look good if we had some new evidence to take into the appeal.
That's why you geniuses came all the way out here. I told you I wouldn't admit to the murder in court.
Handing it over? So you're saying there is still a piece of evidence we don't know about?
What is it, Ahara-san?
Even if there was, you'll never get your hands on it. Didn't mean to get your hopes up.
Murder weapon. Kanagawa PD said the weapon used to kill Mikoshiba still hadn't been found.
Yet it appears in the footage without a doubt. A knife. If it wasn't found at the murder scene, it's highly likely the suspect...
Any normal criminal would have just ditched it somewhere. You got revenge for your son, and you want to publicly humiliate the law for letting you...
Your point?
If you were cleared of the battery charges and confessed to Mikoshiba's murder, you'd need something convincing. Busting out the weapon no one's found yet would do the trick. That one piece of evidence would flip...
Look at you go.
Well, right after killing Mikoshiba in Ijincho, you would have had to book it to Ike. You had accomplices with you.
And if that's the case, there would have been plenty of time to hide the weapon.
Yeah, so... that's about as far as I thought.
That's it? Then I'm done here.
Kawana's vanished, Ahara-san. Public security found out about him.
Public security?
Kawana wanted me to tell you he won't make it to the end of your revenge plan.
So, I'm the last man standing, am I? Well, he's already helped me plenty. I never expected to see him again anyway.
At this point, he won't be able to outrun them. If public security catches him, he'll get much worse than an unfair trial. Burying him will be the least they do.
What do you mean? What's going on?
You remember last time? If you don't recall, I said you'd grabbed a tiger by the tail.
And your tiger is... public security?
Right. And they're out there on the warpath. Everything has to be brought into the light. We need what you did to be exposed. Kawana can't be saved in any other way. I need your help, Ahara-san.
Then you lose. I'll never admit to killing Hiro Mikoshiba in court. The system can die. It threw Toshiro away, and I won't lift a finger to save it. Kawana-san knew how this could end. We have our convictions. When this started, we knew it could end up costing our lives.
You knew going in, huh? And that's all? Is that what you tell yourself so you can sleep at night?
Maybe it is.
Yagami-san. Do you remember my original request? To look into both the Hara incidents? I asked you to look into the train event, and then I asked you to look into Hiro Mikoshiba's murder. And now, I'm afraid I have to make one more request of you. Do you still carry your defense attorney's lapel pin? At Ahara-san's trial, I'd like you to take the floor with me to defend him. It's going to be eventful. I think we should go as a team.
Sure about that? You know, my legal counsel isn't cheap.
I'll let Genda-sensei know about the invoice.
You got it. Count me in. You never know when something like this will happen. Check it out.
I always have it on me.
I know that.
Huh? You do?
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。
Hello?
Doc, where you at?
Just got back to Yokohama, actually. You weren't spying on me, were you?
You just noticed? Everywhere you went, I know about it. Over at the Leomong's place.
Oh, right.
Make your way over, will you? I need a full report.
Oh,
I don't want to...
look at you taking... A name, huh? Stay safe.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。いらっしゃいませ。
ありがとうございました。
Really, guys? What a waste. Looks like the gang's all here.
Everyone but the star of the show.
That is next level ass kissing, Hoshino.
A good ass kisser is a good...
Welcome back, Yagami.
Grab a seat, Talk. Nice. So you're really gonna stand in court again?
Just to give Sari-san some support.
Ah, I see. Does that mean I don't need to be present?
Huh? How would I know? Isn't that more of a Sari-san question?
Yagami's there, I don't see why you gotta be. You're on thin ice,
I have been plenty useful.
Should a lawyer really have to say that?
Ah, man.
So where's Kuwana?
Yeah, a
about that. RK's out there looking for him too.
On the flip side, that means...
Well, yes.
You think Koana-san's still...
alive? Yes. Unharmed. When I saw him, he was already making plans to disappear. The real problem is what happens next. Now that he knows Reiko Kusamoto betrayed him.
I'd never let that slide. Maybe Koana's thinking the same thing, you know? Maybe he's really gonna stick it to Reiko Kusamoto.
Yeah, I could definitely... Hoshinoku, gosh.
Yeah.
Turns out Ahara and his old lady, after her son took his life 4 years back, she refused to keep living it. Only reason she hasn't divorced him is because it's too much of a...
She's been living in that same apartment even when Toshiro-kun was still alive. She let us light some incense on his altar, but she was pretty vague.
Did Ahara's battery charge come up at all?
She said she didn't care.
She didn't care her husband was out there groping women and killing...
According to her, no.
Really?
Well, there's no easy way to put it. But...
Made for a pretty depressing trip, I'll tell you that.
What's the word on our...
Everywhere you look, they're strutting around like they own the place. They stare us down, but never get too...
Plus, they're acting like they're here to stay. They've been harassing...
Harassing?
You know, shit like pretending to be normal customers and dying down. Then another guy'll come in and be like, need protection? And suddenly they're charging...
That's some Yakuza shit right there.
Old shit, too. A Yakuza who pulls that today is out in one shot under the anti-gang laws.
And Soma? Is he still around?
Nah, there's nothing on him. And Soma isn't exactly a social butterfly like Akutsu.
Especially if he has public security's help. Unless it's a life or...
That about wrap it up?
Seems so. As for me, I think...
Same.
Tsukumo-san and Sugiura-san do some impressive work.
Yeah. You don't hold a candle to them, Hoshino.
Black belt in karate, and you never even use it.
Well, I'm just more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. Anyway, I'm heading back to Kamurocho.
What about you, Todd? Want to call it a night?
No skin off.
So, what?
If I can really stay the night.
Yeah, I couldn't live.
Kid Tesso, ask you.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。
Hey, yeah. Really? He's upstairs. Tsukumo-kun, Yagami-san's here.
Something up?
Yes. It's about the pendant Kawana-san gave you. Turns out, it was just a decoy.
Decoy? For what?
For what was inside. This. The cracks in the pendant were hiding an SD card, and on it was some video.
Videotape?
It's the footage of Ihara murdering Hiro Mikoshiba, just like we saw before. No additional scenes.
That doesn't make sense. Why would Kawana put his life on— I mean, RK came after him and everything. And all for a video that's already all over the internet?
Yes, except the video on that card is the original. In layman's terms, this is the master tape. Or in film, it'd be the negative, with no additions or modifications.
What do you mean?
So this SD card here you can't usually buy it in stores. It's called a worm, or write once, read many. If you were to take a picture with a digital camera, the images saved on this SD card couldn't be edited or deleted. It's what forensics teams use when photographing crime scenes. Which means what we have here is unaltered footage of Mikoshiba's murder.
That means it would qualify as evidence.
Yeah, I'd say you have room to negotiate with the at the very least. It beats an internet copy with no origin.
Hey, think this'll be enough to win the trial?
Well, I can't guarantee that. The video on here is the sole original. That's why he'd only leave it in the hands of someone he trusted.
Kawana asked me to give this to Ihara.
Sure, but he had to know we'd turn it inside. Maybe it's Kawana-san's way of entrusting you with the evidence you— After all, with public security after him, he may not— And seeing how he's on the run, which I think is why he left it all up to you, Yagami.
And it's settled. It's about time I expose everyone involved in Mikoshiba's murder. Ihara, Kawana, and his students. That's the first step to luring public security out in the open.
And I believe the SD card will make that possible.
So hey, looks like almost getting blown up was worth it.
Hey, I'm sorry to bug you.
Matsu? What are you doing here?
I was talking to the MRC guys earlier. They said you'd be at this detective agency.
Everything okay?
Well, Akane started hanging out with some... So I figured I should talk to Yagami-san.
Sounds like a tricky situation. Please, have a seat.
Akane's that girl you hung out with all the time, right? So, want to tell me more about these shady guys?
They're these thugs from Tokyo. RK, they're called. They've been flirting with her.
Okay. What else?
They got her so comfortable, she blurted out some stuff. Stuff about you, Yagami-san.
Well, that's nothing I can't handle. But rolling with RK is bad news. She needs to stop.
I knew it. So they actually are dangerous then.
What's really going—
They asked Akane which student you cared about the most.
What?
So she... kinda blurted out Koda's name.
She did what?
Yeah, even Akane knew she messed up. So she called me right after. Yagami-san, you've been mixed up with RK, right? You think they might go after Koda?
Can you try to get in touch with her?
Actually,
What about Akane?
Oh, right. Let me try and call.
Hello, Matsun?
Akane, Where are you right now?
The last place Mikoshiba-sensei was.
Huh?
I'm with RK. We're at the building where Mikoshiba-sensei...
Why?
Matsun, are you with Yagami already?
What? How do you know about that?
It's Yagami. Is Koda-san there too?
She is. Yagami-san! It's me, Koda! Please, help me!
Is Yagami? Come on over and we'll play.
Who is this?
Not important. Better hurry, or else Kodo-chan will have to entertain us. Know what I mean?
Hey! Stop it! No!
Don't! What the hell do you want?
Come down and find out. Oh, I'm sure this goes without saying, but if you go to the cops...
Do you guys even understand what you're doing right now?
Better hurry.
What's happening?
Matsun, you stay here. Tsukumo.
I'll contact Kaito-san and Higashi-san for help. And I'll fly my drone out to the scene, too.
Perfect. Counting on you.
Let's go, Yagami-san.
Yeah, let's go.
What's up?
Yagami-shi, this is Tsukumo. Koda-san and Akane-san are with some men.
Where's Kaito-san and
I
Higashi?
contacted them. They're
Good.
on their...
Hey! He's here! It's Yagami!
Talk. This where those RK guys are holed up? He's Soma with them?
Nobody's had eyes on him yet. Just a sec. Tsukumo?
I've confirmed the enemy position, Yagami-shi. They have our 2 young hostages surrounded, so a head-on assault would be too dangerous. Naturally, I've already come up with some countermeasures we can run. Would you care to hear my plan?
You always come through, man. Okay then. Walk us through it.
Wow. Look who decided to show up. Too scared to come with all your little bodyguard buddies?
Not like you've got room to talk. How many shitheads does it take to watch these girls?
I never thought it would end up like this. You believe me, don't you?
Yeah. But we'll have to save the lecture for after all this is over. You'll be free soon. That goes for you too, Koda-san.
You so sure about that?
You kidnapped them to get to me? Well, here I am, so let's go.
We did lure you here. So we can beat your sorry ass to death.
Okay then. So what was your plan? Throw all these guys at us as soon as we kick down the door?
We're smarter than that, you know.
Yeah. We knew you'd have some backup!
Here comes! Let's take out the trash! Yagami! Hands where I can see them! And same for you two!
Hey, calm down. I've got one more thing. I'm not a big fan of guns.
Huh?
Shit! Up there!
Yokohama 99! The wicked shall be smited and retribution shall be swift!
You're dead!
Come on. Did you really think one gun was enough to take out a crew like us? If you did, you were wrong.
You two sit tight a little longer. But just to warn you, I'm gonna go hard on these guys. You wanna see some asses kicked? Don't blink, okay?
Let's get going. I want him down before the smoke clears.
Yeah.
Come on!
Here we go. Here we go.
Let's go.
I shall assist you. We are ready to go. We are ready to go. Here we go. Here we go. I shall assist you. Here we go. shall assist you.
You need to listen. Let's go.
I shall assist you.
Thanks. You saved us. I'm so sorry.
No. I'm the one who got you into this. It's not your fault, it's RK's. But I'm next in line after them. Besides, I'm not the one you should be apologizing to.
Coda, I'm really sorry. It's all right. Well, I'm gonna head home.
Soma?
What? Who?
Kane, get back!
Huh?
Here all by yourself? What are you trying to pull?
Oh, I'm just here to talk. To be honest, Kuwano's put us in kind of a tight spot.
How so?
Well, he's got Kawai's body, Reiko Kusamoto's victim, hidden in a freezer, of all places. Been on ice for what, 5 years? You know about this, Yagami?
Yeah.
Problem is, he's planning to reveal its location on the internet. If that happens, Kusamoto-san will be ruined. No doubt her fingerprints and other traces are all over the damn corpse.
Yeah, but that's for the better. Means she won't have to listen to you.
Reiko Kusamoto is a capable woman who can swim with the tides. She's irreplaceable. It would be unfortunate to lose her over some lowlife she had to put down. She's on our side now, and she's accepted it.
So it's your duty to protect people like that?
I protect order, not people. Consider me a necessary evil.
Necessary evil?
That's right. If I hadn't gone undercover, the Tojo clan's ex-Yakuza would be spread all over by now. If that happened, we never would have been able to track their current activity. That's why I created the RK Network. To keep Kamurocho's underground under control. Much safer and less messy than wiping them out indiscriminately. But in the shadow of order, there's always a pair of dirty hands.
Right. Kuwana said something like that too.
But if there's one difference between the two of us, it's that I find my work enjoyable. It gives me purpose. When I dirty my hands, it's in the service of order. It goes back to a necessary evil to maintain peace in this country. In my eyes, peace does require violence. It only works when killers are below the surface, keeping it afloat.
Sawa-sensei too? Is that the peace you want?
Yoko Sawa? She did have to die. She almost connected the Mikoshiba case to Kuwana. She was getting very close to it. She may even have figured out Reiko Kusamoto was involved. The fewer people who know a secret, the better kept the secret stays. I don't remember even hesitating on that call. And I think that means... well, you guys won't like hearing this, but it was justified.
You asshole!
Whoa, whoa. Don't fly off the handle now. I haven't finished what I had to say.
What the fuck?
Did I mention how much of a pain in the ass Kuwana made this? He negotiated for your lives, using Kuai's body as leverage over us.
What?
So relax, would you? I don't plan on killing you here.
Then why even show your sorry face?
The trial for Ehara-san's coming up, right? You know, the groping thing. I've come here with a request that I hope you'll consider.
This from you?
Reiko Kusamoto's name is not to come up during the Ehara trial. That shouldn't be so hard, right? Shirosaki-sensei would have to agree to this too.
And if we were to refuse?
Nothing. It's Kusamoto-san's request. She's asking nice.
What?
A mother doesn't want her child branded a murderer's son. Could you give her that much? And that's all. I'm sure we'll talk soon.
You think so, huh? Why put off what we can settle now? Soma! Akane!
Akane-chan! Why am I...
A paint gun? You okay?
That son of a...
Well, hell, that's gotta hurt. But a bruise sure beats the alternative, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say he got us good with that one.
Yeah. But that was a terrible call. If Soma hadn't been packing a paint gun, that would have been really bad. You two are more important than him. I should have prioritized protecting you.
Yagami-san.
You've been brave. I'm sure this was really scary for you. We'll need to do things one step at a time, Kaito-san. We can't tackle it all at once. First thing, Ehara's groping appeal needs to become a murder trial that outs Kawana and his students. That way, if public security is our real enemy here, we'll have the prosecution and the courts on our side. That'll be on me. I'll reveal a truth no one can deny.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much your specialty. Send that asshole to jail, for good.
You've got this, Yagami-san.
Whoa. This is crazy. Why is he so hot? Am I right?
Huh. Just a minute ago, she got shot. And now look at her.
Teenagers. Hello? Yeah, I'm getting ready now, Sari-san. Oversleep? I would never... Okay. Yeah. Held on violation of Shinjuku Station's anti-nuisance ordinance. The defendant of this appeal is active. He was previously convicted and sentenced to... However, the defense wholly rejects the sexual battery...
The prosecution points to two pieces of evidence to prove the defendant guilty. One is the security camera footage from the other is fiber traces. The defense maintains this was not sufficient evidence to issue. We have prepared counter-arguments to each piece of the prosecution's evidence.
How does the prosecution respond?
We maintain the original sentence was perfectly adequate. That is all.
Then first, Let's examine the security footage from Ikebukuro and Shinjuku Station submitted at the first trial. This is footage of Ikebukuro Station on October 7th at 7:43 a.m. The individual wearing sunglasses and a mask, this person remains in the area for over an hour. At 9:06 a.m., he locates the victim of this case, then he boards the train and pursues her. This footage of the station platform is from when the suspect and
We already saw this during the first trial.
Of course not. The victim claimed the defendant moved in a suspicious manner once the train left Ikebukuro Station, ultimately placing his hand under her skirt. After they arrived at Shinjuku Station 6 minutes later, the victim gathered her courage and grabbed his hand. However, there's a possibility the offender seen here is not the defendant himself, but a different person entirely, a stand-in. The goal was to disguise this event as an alibi for the murder. In other words, this instance of sexual battery was a conspiratorial fabrication. The original verdict was issued without taking this into consideration.
This is merely speculation. The defense has no proof to support these claims.
Precisely the issue.
Yes, there is indeed no definitive proof that confirms the existence of a stand-in. However, the notion itself cannot be disproved, even with all of the prosecution's evidence.
Would you care to elaborate, please?
The assailant fled the train and was caught shortly after on the Shinjuku Station platform. Many nearby passengers filmed the scene, which then circulated through. The impact may have been greater since the defendant was. There's no mistake that the man apprehended at the upon arrival, station police arrested him. And with that said, there's a very real possibility the offender who ran off the train was an entirely different person. We have the evidence to. If you'll kindly look at this.
What is this? Displayed on the large monitor, please.
That's correct, your first. The victim and the offender ran onto the platform as soon as the train doors opened. The train car they boarded is here on this map. We've marked the offender's route with an arrow. The lighter areas on the overhead view are within the security camera's line of sight. More people pass through Shinjuku than anywhere on Earth in a single. However, this arrow with the dotted line reveals the existence. That's where the defendant and
I see. So you claim...
Yes. As such, I'd like to question the... Defendant, when you were issued the verdict in your first trial, you said the following to the judge. In a warehouse about 3 days ago, a body turned up in Yokohama. If that wasn't enough, you correctly identified the body as Hiro Mikoshiba, despite the fact the police had... How did you manage to pull
It came
up...
to me in a dream. Strange, I know.
Mikoshiba-san was your son Toshiro-kun's classmate, was he not?
That's right.
Toshiro Ihara was found dead in his apartment 4 years ago. He took his own life. Afterward, the defendant sued the school over Toshiro-kun's suicide.
Yes?
Ihara-san, can you tell us why you sued the school?
There were rumors my son had been bullied. Unfortunately...
And these rumors were discovered...
They were.
Of the bullies mentioned, Mikoshiba-san's name. Were you aware of this?
I was.
Would you say you harbored murderous intent against Mikoshiba-san?
Objection. The defense's question is irrelevant. This also, the Kanagawa police are actively investigating. The courtroom is no place...
How does the defense respond?
The timing of the battery incident makes this case an alibi for Mikoshiba-san's murder. We believe there's a very relevant connection.
Very well. The prosecution's objection is overruled.
Then please keep it brief.
Just as soon as the defendant answers the question. Did you harbor murderous intent for Hiro Mikoshiba?
Of course I did.
In other words, Your Honor, it goes like this. On the day Toshiro-kun's bully, Mikoshiba-san, was killed, the defendant set out to synchronize the murder with... It became his alibi for the murder. A 6-month sentence for sexual battery. That's all the motivation the defendant needed to His stand-in groped his accomplice, and then they swapped places before getting...
Then the defense should present some evidence...
Wrong. That's not how this works, is it? The prosecution bears the burden of proof in criminal cases. If we go through all the evidence and discover the possibility no groping took place, then it's on the prosecution to refute that.
Fine. Have it your way. The defense's argument about the security camera's blind spot is flimsy at best. While the defendant was running, his female victim was chasing after him. Surely the victim would have seen if he had switched places with a stand-in. Yet the victim provided no such testimony.
The victim, Yui Mamiya, was an—
Objection! This is an insult to the victim.
We have good reason to doubt the victim's credibility. In fact, that's all but—
A 50-something man separated from his wife was driven by loneliness.
The way you phrase that. Is the prosecution admitting the defense's claims aren't wholly impossible?
Beg pardon?
That would imply the guilty verdict from the first trial was issued without 100% certainty.
Now you're just nitpicking.
Defense, if you claim to doubt the victim, then what—
Yes, we do. In actuality, she wasn't the only conspirator who helped stage the groping. The bystander who captured the defendant, the witness who recorded the incident on his smartphone. Both men, in conjunction with the victim, were classmates from the same high school. Which means, strange as it sounds, that these seemingly unrelated individuals were in— It's clear that this was a carefully organized and planned event.
Our investigation discovered they all graduated from Kurokawa. Additionally, Yoko Sawa, the teacher who was killed in Ijincho 4 years ago, she was the teacher of the defendant's son. We believe this indicates a connection between the Kurokawa Academy graduates.
Of course, that's as deep as we need to go on. We've simply presented the possibility that multiple conspirators were present when the defendant was apprehended. And as long as such a possibility exists, the defense asserts the defendant can—
Your Honor, may I speak?
What is it?
I haven't committed murder. Per my conviction, I am just a pervert who Everything else is in the defense's imagination.
Defendant, why did you agree to this appeal then?
You can ask my lawyers that. I simply didn't stop them.
How does the defense respond?
It's just as the defendant says. However, we believe his recollection may be a bit fuzzy. To refresh his memory, I'd like him to take a look at some footage. Will you permit this, Your Honor?
Now what?
But please, don't display this on the large monitor. We shouldn't shock the public. It's footage of a murder.
Excuse me, wasn't that denied as evidence?
As I said, this is solely to refresh your memory. It's up to the judge whether or not we show it.
Please proceed.
That's just internet footage with no known origins.
No. This footage is from the SD card in the camera used. This is a write once, read many card, also known as a worm. Anything recorded on it is high. After serving your time, you intended to release this to the public, but Kawana can't wait for that to happen. And that's why he left it in Mike.
Don't kill me. Please. I'm sorry. Toshiro-kun. I'll make it up to him. I'll atone for it. I swear I'll try to make it up to him somehow. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. Stop it. Stop it.
Defendant, in that footage, is the person in the white.
You could say it looks like me.
The person you killed is Hiro Mikoshiba. According to the autopsy report, therefore, it can only be that the person who passed through the ticket gate shortly after at 7:43. As the defense, we cannot allow our client's conviction of sexual battery to stand in light of this footage. May we continue questioning?
How does the prosecution...
Even if the footage has an irrefutable source, that alone does not... I'd just like to state that in advance.
So the prosecution is denying the murder? Remind me who exactly is defending me here?
Good question.
The defense repeatedly mentions a stand-in, but where is this who even... The person on the station's security footage was wearing sunglasses.
We believe he used a mask made from a 3D printer. If you look closely, the alleged defendant at Ikebukuro Station and on the train. We learned this from sources who may have been the stand-in at...
Then we should call them to this...
No need. The defendant should know all of this already.
I don't know anything about it.
He said he doesn't know. So what now? The defendant admitted to... The murder footage has excellent production value, but nothing else corroborates the defense...
Your Honor, I would like to request further witness testimony from the victim.
Denied. Both the defendant and the victim certified the validity of the battery, leaving no room for discrepancies. It would be unprecedented for a victim to testify further in this situation.
By that logic, there's no precedent for using battery as an alibi for murder either.
I will admit there is a possibility, but not enough to justify subjecting the victim to further distress in court. I must once again deny the request.
But...
Defense, I've made myself clear.
Your Honor, following the defendant's last statement, we have a few more questions.
Understood. Please proceed.
What's next?
Ihara-san, you're familiar with Jin?
Nope. Never.
On October 7th, Kawana disguised himself as you and boarded a train. He was the stand-in for the...
Your Honor! No evidence has been... The name Kawana was not present on any documentation, nor was the prosecution notified.
Kawana is the very person who encouraged the defendant to murder...
Defense. As the prosecution has stated, no one by the name of Kawana is known to the court. We've not even confirmed if he exists. Please refrain from this...
But, Your Honor, Kawana is a key factor in the defendant's motive. Without him, Ihara-san never would have killed Mikoshiba, and we wouldn't be in this court. Am I getting through to you?
I don't know.
No, you definitely do. Kawana's the one who fanned the flames of vengeance. You do well to remember that. Take a listen to this.
What is it?
It wasn't just some random internet post that made you... Even while battling the school in court, you still didn't know for sure. That's when Kawana came to you with...
That's...
Toshiro-kun came running to the roof. And a few minutes later, I'll never forget the fear I saw in Toshiro.
That's the voice of Yokosawa, the teacher Toshiro-kun confided in him.
He told me about everything. The teasing, the beatings, the theft. How nobody was on his side. And yet, I had to deny all this. Believe me, they said there was no hope. That I was the only witness with no proof whatsoever.
After hearing this, the defendant came to believe Mikoshiba-san's unchecked aggression. And ultimately, this... Isn't that right, Ihara-san?
Afraid not.
I see.
Then, is that all? Can the defense...
This recording only came into my hands by... Except, thinking about it now, much like the murder footage.
What?
We live in an age where audio and video footage can be fabricated and easily...
What are you getting at?
Sawa-sensei, the one speaking in the recording, was murdered only days ago. And the one who recorded it, Kawana. Meaning that as far as this recording is concerned... Or is my understanding incorrect? You would say you're completely unaware of the details about your son in this recording. Kawana had it. Didn't he play it for you?
I never heard it. Regardless of the content, it has nothing to do with me.
So you say. In that case, let's just assume then that Kawana and I are the only ones in possession of this audio recording. And considering that Kawana has all but vanished without a trace, that would actually make this the only copy, and me the sole owner. No backup exists.
What are you getting at?
This has no value in this courtroom, then I'm afraid it's never gonna have a value beyond today. And being that you claim it's unrelated to you or this case, then it wouldn't bother you. If I were to delete it from my phone right here and now.
Why would... That's crazy. I wouldn't!
Okay. Then tell me why I shouldn't do it.
Because Mikoshiba was a man who should never have escaped being judged. That's the proof of my son's pain. The proof that everyone ignored. That recording is all I have left of him! I took the school to court because Toshiro deserved justice. But all they could say is that the cause of his suicide couldn't be determined. In the end, not a single person was held responsible. No proof, no justice. My son was hung out to dry.
Yes. That's all true.
All of you. You're all so incompetent. You see yourselves as these paragons of law and justice. Yet the truth slips right through your fingers. And then, my alibi made you a mockery. I made it so real. You passed me off as just another pervert. You were gullible. Every single one of you. Toshiro threw his life away and justice was blind to his pain. Mikoshiba walked free because of you. You condone murder and call yourselves the law. That's why. That's why I did it. I took Mikoshiba's life with my own hands.
This is coming in hot. Remember that pervert cop? Turns out he's actually a murderer.
To recap, you killed Hiro Mikoshiba in Ijincho, then headed to Shinjuku Station where you and Kawana pulled off a switch, and there you were ultimately arrested as a groper.
Yeah. That's right.
Defendant, you bear animosity for the whole system. We can't just take your words at face value. If you're responsible for Mikoshiba-san's murder, can you bring forward any evidence, or just the murder footage?
To tell you the truth, I have something that I was holding on to for the impact that it would have. It's very real evidence that the law has failed us.
What have you been hiding then? Will it prove you killed Mikoshiba?
Yes.
Then what is it?
If you go to my wife's apartment, you'll find my son's altar there. In it, you'll find the weapon I used for the crime, the knife I murdered him with. It still has Mikoshiba's blood on it.
Wait a minute, Genda-sensei. I prayed at that altar.
Well, I guess you can lead a horse to water.
Very well then. We'll open an investigation.
Defense. Will there be anything further?
No matter how justified, vengeance is not something we can ever take into our own hands. That said, in the case of Ahara-san, our system failed him. We know the law strives to be just, but it failed to prove Toshiro-kun was bullied. That's not justice. Not when no one is held responsible. The law, as well as those who enforce it, are far from perfect. So to the court, I say let this case be a lesson. The law is failing to save people who need saving.
It's clear proceedings should be adjourned. At a later time when Mikoshiba-san's murder weapon is recovered, we can resume the trial. I'm willing to do that via a special exception. Defense, prosecution, is that clear?
No objections.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Well, Kanagawa PD called from the Ehara residence. They've recovered the knife. A I'm ashamed to admit that I was so blind to his scheme.
Well then, that makes two of us.
Seems I underestimated you. And the worst part of all, I was arrogant. Legal authority and organizational connections should never be held above the pursuit of truth. I'm glad you were able to make me see that again. Thank you.
Nah. You've come a long way.
Genda-sensei.
Prosecutor Takano's been stubborn as hell from the day he passed the bar. Once he's made up his mind, nothing can stand in his way. Not even his own boss. And he only bows once in a blue moon, so I hope you remember this.
Typical Genda law. I'm never going to like you.
You two really pulled it off. Great job.
Yagami-san.
It's Kusumoto, the Vice Minister.
Bondo. He's from public security?
Right. You handled that with such grace, Yagami-sensei. It's no wonder Kawana holds you in such high regard.
What brings you here?
Yagami-sensei, would you mind if we talked alone?
Why, though? Something we can't hear?
The more you know, the more you risk. You'd be endangering your own lives. If you're willing to accept that, feel free to stay.
We'll clear the room. At this point, we'd just be getting in Yagami-san's way.
It was nearly a month ago that Kusumoto-san received a letter from Kawana. Though we were unable to use it to trace him.
What did it say?
Soma told you, didn't he? Kawana hid Shinya Kawai's body, seeing as Kusumoto-san's fingerprints and other traces were still on it. If that surfaces, the Ministry of Health will have yet another. As such, we'd like to recover and dispose of the body as quickly.
The body was originally preserved to maintain control over Mitsuru's bullies. I never imagined it would be used against him.
Fine, but why are you telling...
Because of the letter he sent. Once Eihara-san's trial, he wanted to talk to you.
Huh? Is that Kawana?
Kusumoto-san, is Yagami there? Put me on speaker, please.
Go ahead.
So, it seems Eihara-san's trial was a big success. He took our failing legal system and turned it on its head. Couldn't have done it without you.
I don't know what you're thinking, but public security has to be tracing this call. You have a plan?
No, not this time. That's why I'm using my own phone. And that's just the way I want it. Can't run forever, you know.
What the hell are you saying? They catch you, you're a dead man.
That's exactly why I'm negotiating to prevent that. Kusumoto-san.
Yes.
I'll be upfront with you. I never imagined the day would come that you would be the one to betray me. But if I had to guess, Mitsuru-kun must have woke up. If that's the case, then Kawai's murder, your whole past, you're not the only one it stands to ruin. If all that comes into the light, Mitsuru-kun will be labeled the son of a murderer.
Exactly. I can't let that... That's the one thing I need to prevent.
I know. That's good. That's exactly what you should be doing. So please, don't stop now on my behalf. Enough is enough. You and your son have been through enough hell. I want to protect Mitsuru-kun too. Almost as much as his mother.
Where is Kawai's body? Tell me.
I can only assume this call is being traced, so even as we speak, I'm standing somewhere very close to it.
You gave us the location. I'm going to dispatch Soma.
Kawana! Where are you?
I'm in Injincho. If I take even one step out of this city, I'd be powerless. I've got nowhere else left to go.
Kawana!
After they find Kawai's body and Kawana is taken care of, I'm next on the list. Bando can act at his own discretion. If he wants me gone, he'll be able to silence anyone who could know too much. Sawa-sensei was just the first victim. You yourself have sealed this fate, you know. Will you tell him? Will you tell Mitsuru-kun about Sawa-sensei?
Surely you know it wasn't my fault. Sawa-san's death was a tragedy. I never imagined that would happen.
What about Kawana? Can you imagine how his death is gonna play out in a few hours? I can, but I'm not gonna let him go down without a fight. Which means, I'm going to Ijincho.
I can talk some sense into Bando. I won't allow him to kill indiscriminately. So please, don't go out there to risk your life.
That's how it works. No promises. Tsukumo, Kawana's still out in Ijincho. Soma and RK are heading there too. We need to get to him fast.
Wait, are you sure about that?
You should be able to pick up some chatter. Pinpoint the location. I'm on my way. I'll talk to you soon. Tsukumo?
I see you've arrived in Ijincho.
What's happening? Is RK on?
Oh, yes. A picture began circulating on the internet. It was likely Kawana-san who put... I just sent it over.
Hang on. Is this Shinya Kawai? That's his body?
Indeed it is. I data mined the image and found out it was taken just minutes ago. I also have the location. It's a warehouse company on Yokohama's coast.
You mean Siren's owner? Send me the warehouse's address.
Actually, Sugiura, she's driving there with... If you want to ride, take Isizaki Road.
Can't count how many times you've come through from this.
Just trying to return...
Doc, over here. These RK assholes are like bananas. They only come in bunches.
Take it they don't want us getting to Kawana-san?
Guess they were expecting us. Sure are making a big show.
What are those people doing?
Should we call the cops?
Kaito-san, we're running out of time.
Yeah. Can't you see we're in a hurry?
Let's go.
4! Freeze!
Somehow they never show up when you need them. But they're right there when it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Think this bunch is with public security?
I'm not sure. Either way, we don't have time to deal with them.
Hey! Relax, fellas. I can vouch for these guys.
Nabe-san.
The lid came off the Mikoshiba case. We can investigate the connection to Ehara. But what the hell are you guys doing here?
Kawana's in a tight spot, actually. Can I count on you? Will the cops help?
What do you mean by a tight spot?
Take a step back, please. These men are gonna be under our jurisdiction.
This has to wait. We're dealing with a matter of life and death here.
Be quiet!
Hey, I told you I could vouch for these guys. Why don't we all just chill out and let them explain what they're doing?
Hey! What the hell? I suggest you stay out of this. Okay, name and department. Our orders are coming from way higher up the chain than yours, sir. So again, stay out of this. There's nothing stopping me from arresting a detective. Or do you want to try me?
And do your orders include going around belting us with your batons?
We're about to have a problem here, aren't we? All four of you, put your hands up and face the car. I said, move!
Oh, damn! It's Yagami-san! What brings you all the way out here?
Matsu? Akane?
Hey! Stop that!
Whoa! Back off, dude!
Hey, check it out! These goddamn cops, they're checking my friend's food because they're shady as fuck! I'm no expert, but is that shit legal?
Nice. Sugiura, start the car.
Okay.
Hey! Kirby cop! There's a cop here and he's creeping on me!
Those kids aren't even half bad.
Let's roll!
Hey, stop the car!
Shit!
Let's go!
Tesso.
Looks like everybody's on our side. Except RK and the cops.
Great. Kawana's gonna be waiting for us.
I'm on it. Going as fast as I can.
Tsukumo, we're just about at the place. You got a visual?
Yeah, the view's great from up here, Yagamishi. From my position, it looks like RK is swarming the whole building.
And Soma?
I can't confirm his location, unfortunately. Kawana-san either.
Okay. So give me a number here. How many RK we got?
I'd say about 100.
100?
It's a massive warehouse, so they need all the manpower they can get. They seem to have fanned out to search for Kawai's body. The good news is there's no indication they found it yet.
Tsukumo-kun, got any bright ideas for where I should park this thing?
I'm afraid it won't matter too much. The enemy already knows you're en route. You'll have a welcoming party no matter where you decide to enter from.
That works. Just means we get to show up and beat down the front door.
Are you guys ready?
Hey, anyone else getting some good deja vu from kicking a bunch of asses in a downpour?
I'm pretty pumped, actually. It's reminding me I'm alive, you know?
Come on, man. Are you that bored back in Kamurocho?
Let's go!
Come on.
Let's go. Let's do this.
We've got company.
What are they so mad about?
Yeah, they're just This is all to find.
Well, if there's a bright side.
That's it.
Break time, fellas. Let's go. not! Because I can go all day!
It's Kawana. I assume you're here? Then all the players have assembled.
I mean, you're here too? Where are you? What is all this?
Put simply, a trap for Soma, using Kawai's body as bait.
So everything from calling Reiko Kusumoto to this?
Yeah. I'm gonna drag him kicking and screaming into the light. He only gets away with his shit because he does it in the shadows, and his friends at public security. If I expose them, Kusumoto-san can lead a happy...
You know she sold you out, right?
Look, that doesn't matter. This is the only shot we have at alone. I could probably kill him.
If you wanted help, you could have just asked.
To deceive your enemies, start with your allies. And besides, if you didn't come... Listen, I'm in the deepest part of the warehouse. Far down as you can go.
And we'll just have to get there.
Man. What kind of plan B could he have when he's got 100 guys surrounding him?
I sure would have liked to see that. Might be some arcade down below, too.
Probably.
Huh? The hell were the guys up there even doing? Come on, let's trash them!
And stay down.
Let's roll, Talk.
Won't open? Maybe they barred it from the other side.
Hey.
Let's see if we can fight. What the? Suspicious. guys.
Oh.
Yeah, let me see if it'll work.
Gotcha.
I have to do something about this right now.
Here we go! All right.
That door looks like it leads...
It's locked. Let me see if I can pick it. I suck at this. Why am I bad? Almost there. Perfect.
You're the man, Yagami.
Let's
Yeah,
roll
go.
Hey! Hold her right! God damn. Talk, Higashi and I'll counting on...
Another pile of shit. No RK around here.
Still.
Oi, こらてめえ! Let's go!
Yagami-san! I'm a little tied up over here myself.
Hey, you alright?
Think so. In better shape than Kuwana-san, at least. Now hurry up, Yagami-san!
Damn it. You better be right behind me.
You know I will!
Hey. What the? Stop. Gotta think.
Need a lift? Nice job clearing the path. As a map, I found this.
Come on board!
This ought to be good.
What do you clowns think you're doing? Your asses are dead! Let's go.
What a waste.
Whoa, yeah, let's go. Another elevator. Kuwana-san and Soma are probably...